You know, I hear too often from workplace abuse survivors that their former employers are still retaliating against them years after leaving. I know it sounds ridiculous, right? Well, the fact of the matter is, they actually get joy out of trying to destroy you because you simply wanted to work in a psychologically safe environment and you asked for the bullies to be held accountable. Speaking up, especially when you're speaking up against the power structure, it calls for punishing the abused, so they want you to believe, right? How about a smear campaign against you on TV? Would you be able to endure that? I know. That sounds pretty ridiculous too, right? Well, here's more proof that they are who I said they were. My former employer, WTHR-TV, owned by one of the largest, biggest, most powerful media companies in the nation, used a picture of me as part of a news story about the alleged fraud of a company of which I provided freelance stories for. Now, I buried the lead. This paid programming show aired on my former station and other local channels in Indy and other TV markets across the state. This all happened a year ago this month. It's not a celebration, it's not an anniversary, but it's been going on for about a year. And as you can imagine, I have been inundated with hateful messages. I've been harassed, cyber-stalked, followed, and even more, including yesterday on my YouTube page, My Silence is Not for Sale. A picture says 1,000 words. What were they trying to imply with this picture? Oh, the nefariousness of the news business. They painstakingly photoshopped a tree to cover my eyes, my nose, and my lips, but everybody knew it was me, as this picture has been used as part of a statewide promotional campaign on television, on radio, as well as in mailers to people's homes. You might be asking yourself, well, why did they use the picture? I'll tell you why. They wanted to embarrass me, to sully my reputation, to retaliate against me for speaking truth to power about the pervasive and persistent hostile environment, inequities, racism, and discrimination that I detailed in my federal discrimination lawsuit about 3-4 years ago. Like the Georgia election workers who sued Rudy Giuliani for defamation, I too filed a defamation lawsuit against the station and the company. Now, y'all didn't know, because the media, imagine that, doesn't want to touch the story because we're going up against a powerful company. But the suit was filed last April. So this new year, it calls for a new focus on My Silence is Not for Sale. This season, I'm going to be exploring the legal system, talking about its failure to have guardrails in place to curb and prevent such retaliatory behavior by companies, and the desperate need for the Workplace Psychological Safety Act. I'll also be sharing the similar stories of others as we educate and we shine a light on the systemic issue of workplace bullying and toxicity that is literally killing people. Literally killing people. The emotional abuse is unconscionable. It is a pain that I want no one else to go through. So my fight is your fight. The sad part of this is the reporter, the photographer, the managers, the news director, the VP of news, and the station general manager, instead of following the code of ethics for journalism and media, they decided to enact retribution. They chose to harm me. By the way, they didn't use pictures of the show's co-host or any other employee. And no other station in Indianapolis, as they were sharing this story, no other station used my picture. Only my former employer. And I'm sure you're asking, well, why? When I tell you the pain, my family has been hurt just because I spoke truth to power. This was nothing more than an attempt to silence me and to punish me. But God, it's real. If this can happen to me, it can happen to you. I will tell you this much. I was called for this moment.